I like to give all glory and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles that have taught this truth and continue to teach this truth. Shalom to you sincere Akim and you sincere sisters that are steadfast in this truth. We're going to jump right into this lesson. The Spirit was on me heavy to to dive in and present this lesson. And so the topic of this lesson is going to be the books of Esther, chapters 3 through 9. And this particular lesson is going to focus on chapter 3. And so without any further delay, we're going to jump into chapter 3 of Esther. After these things did King Ahasuerus promote Haman, the son of Hammedatha the Agagite, and advance him, and set his seat above all the princes that were with him. Now we're going to pause right there, okay? And I want you to make a mental note, okay, of the following. Haman, the son of Hammedatha the Agagite, okay? And so we're going to focus in even deeper on the word the Agagite. And so what is an Agagite? Okay? And so an Agagite, in short, is Amelek. Okay? Okay? Amelek. Okay? When we look into the Hebrew of what this word means, okay? Agagite means I will overtop. Okay? When we break the word down and go to its root, okay, and we look at the meaning of what the root means, and so the root word for Agagite is Agagi, right? Okay, and the meaning of Agagi is the title of an Amalek king. All right, the title of an Amalek king. All right, and so make a mental note of that. Okay, and so let's reread that so we can smoothly transition through the chapter, through our points, um, and through the precepts and all the information that's presented. And so again, after these things did King Ahasuerus promote Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite, and advance him, and set his seat above all the princes that were with him, and all the king's servants that were in the king's gate bowed and reverenced Haman, for the king had so commanded concerning him. But Mordecai bowed not, nor did him reverence. Okay, and so let's pause right there, and let's add, let's add a precept into that. Okay, and so we're gonna go to um, Esther, the additions in the Apocrypha, chapter 4_1, verse, and we're gonna start at verse 11. Okay, and so, and it reads, "Thou art Lord of all things, and there is no man that can resist thee, which art the Lord. Thou knowest all things, and thou knowest, Yahweh, that it was neither in contempt, nor pride, nor for any desire of glory, that I did not bow down to proud Haman. For I could have content with good will for the salvation of Israel, to kiss the soles of his feet. But I did this, that I might not prefer the glory of man above the glory of our power. Neither will I worship any but thee, our power. Neither will I do it in pride." Okay? And so I don't have to go in, too deep on explaining that pretty much basically what he's saying in short that um, you know that when it came to bowing to Mordecai, he wasn't, he didn't, he did not bow to that man because he was being proudful. His reason for not bowing is that the only person that he's in service to and that he serves is Yahweh. You understand? Okay, and that's why he didn't bow. Okay, you understand? Okay, and so the point of what I read is actually in verse 14. I'm going to read it again. But I did this, that I might not prefer the glory of man above the glory of our power. All right? Neither will I worship any but thee, our power. Neither will I do it in pride. All right? And so let's get back to this. All right? So let's get back to this. All right? And so um we're going to go back over uh, 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 verse 2, and then we're gonna continue on. And all the king's servants that were in the king's gate bowed and reverenced Haman, for the king had so much commanded concerning him. But Mordecai bowed not, nor did him reverence. And now we understand his thought process, his mindset, why he did that. Okay, moving on. Then the king's servants, which were in the king's gate, said unto Mordecai, why transgresseth thou the king's commandment? Now it came to pass, when they spake daily unto him, and he hearkened not unto them, that they told Haman, to see whether Mordecai's matter would stand. For he had told them that he was a Jew. All right. And when Haman saw that Mordecai bowed not, nor did him reverence, then was Haman full of wrath, and he thought scorn to lay hands on Mordecai alone, for they had showed him the people of Mordecai. Wherefore Haman sought to destroy all the Jews that were throughout the whole kingdom of Ahasuerus, even the people of Mordecai. And so another name for King Ahasuerus, or the kingdom of Ahasuerus, is Xerxes or Artaxerxes. Okay. Now in this sixth verse, we'll go. Let's reread part. Let's go over it. The key part. And he thought scorn to lay hands on Mordecai alone, for they had shown him the people of Mordecai. Who were the people of Mordecai? The Jews. Okay? And so hatred swelled on him soon as he saw who the people were that he was related to. You understand? Okay? And not only, and basically what this verse is saying is that not only did he want to lay hands on Mordecai for, you know, his perceived disrespect from Mordecai, you know, he wanted to lay hands on all the people. Do you understand? So let's pause right there. All right. Okay. Let's pause right there. We're going to stop right there. As a matter of fact, yeah, let's stop right there. All right. And I want y'all to think about something. Matter of fact, let me get this preset, man. We're going to get Psalms 83. Okay. And we're going to start at 8. Okay? Psalms 83 and 8. Okay? Now, these are our enemies that the Most High has pointed out to us. Okay? Okay? And so in Psalms 83 and 8, or pardon me, let's go back. Let's go to Psalms 83 and 5. For they consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. What does the word confederate mean? It means, in the Hebrew, it means to have an alliance. Okay? All right? To have a covenant. All right? The tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites of Moab and the Hagareans, Gabal, Ammon, Amalek. We just discussed that earlier. All right? The Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. Ashur also joined on to them. They have holpen the children of Lot. Selah. Okay? These are our enemies. Okay? And that's why I asked you to make a note of the Agagite. Okay, in verse 1. All right? And so let's go back here. Okay? Where we left off. Okay? And so, we left off with Haman. He was full of wrath, and he sought to lay hands on Mordecai and all of the people. Okay? Okay? So let us continue. We're gonna continue from verse 7. In the first month, that is the month Nisan, in the 12th year of King Ahasuerus, they cast pur, that is the lot before Haman, for day to night, and from month to month, to the 12th month, that is the month Adar. Okay? And so, in short, you know, you know, how do I say? To cast a lot. Um, Casting a lot basically is, well, let's go into the Hebrew. Okay? And so in Hebrew, casting a lot means pebbles used for systematically making decisions. Okay? So let's pick up on verse 8. And Haman said unto King Ahasuerus, there is a certain people scattered abroad and dispensed amongst the people in all the province of the kingdom, and their laws are diverse from all the people, neither keep the king's laws. Therefore, it is not for the king's profit to suffer them. Now, this man was wicked. And so, after after Mordecai, after his perceived disrespect for Mordecai and seeing who his peoples are, hatred swelled up in him, right? Okay? And so here's his device, right? Here's his pitch to the king, so he could do, Mordecai and the people harm. You understand? You know? And so he points out the fact that their laws are different from his laws, right? Stirring up controversy and BS. But let's take a different look at this. Let's take a look. Let's go into a precept, because a precept comes to mind, when I'm looking at this verse here in verse 8. All right? And so let's go to Deuteronomy 7 and 6. Thou art an holy people unto Yahweh thy power. Yahweh thy power hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. Okay? All right, and so let's go back to that verse that we were just in. Let's go back to that. Where were we at? And Haman said unto King Ahasuerus, there is a certain people scattered abroad and dispensed amongst the people in all the province of the king's kingdom, or pardon me, the kingdom, and their laws are diverse from all the people. Why? Why are their laws diverse from all the people? What did what what did Deuteronomy 7:6 say? Let's go back to it. It said, for thou art a holy people unto Yahweh thy power. Yahweh thy power hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself. All of the people that are upon, pardon me. In my excitement, I'm skipping stuff. So let me read it again. For thou art a holy people unto Yahweh thy power. Yahweh thy power hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. Okay? Let's get into another precept. That another precept comes to mind. Amos 3 and I think it's Amos 3 and 3 and it might be 3 and 1. Hear this. Hear this word that Yahweh hath spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities. You understand? And so let's get back to that verse 8. And so that should give you clarity on why our laws are different from the rest of everyone else's laws. Okay? But Haman, with his wicked ass, made light of it, to do evil. And so let's get back to it. All right? So that's not where I was at. Let's get back to the book of, there we go. Now, continuing, we're going to continue, pick up at verse 9. If it please the king, let it be written that they may be destroyed, and I will pay 10,000 talents of silver to the hand of those that have charge of the business, to bring it into the king's treasury. And the king took his ring from his hand and gave it unto Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite, the Jews' enemy. And the king said to Haman, the silver is given to thee, the people also, to do with them as it seemeth good to thee. Now, basically, what is he saying there? In other words, he told him to keep the silver, all right, and do what you will with the people, all right. Why? Because, according to Haman, they were breaking the king's laws. Let us continue. Then were the king's scribe called on the 13th day of the first month, and there was written according to all that Haman had commanded unto the king's lieutenants and to the governors that were over every province, and to the rulers of every people of the province according to the writing thereof, and to every people after their language. And in the name of the king Ahasuerus has it written and sealed with the king's ring. And the letters were sent by post into all the king's provinces to destroy, to kill, to cause to perish all Jews, both young and old, little children, women, in one day, even upon the 13th day of the 12th month, which is the month Adar, and to take the spoil of them for a prey. And a copy of the written commandment to be given in every province was published unto the people, that they should be ready against that day. The post went out, being hastened by the king's commandment, and the decree was given in Shushan the palace. And the king and Hamman sat down to drink. But the city Shushan was perplexed. Mm, 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 mm. Now, there's something else that came to mind. Okay. Now, we visited a list of our enemies, and we're going to go back over them again. All right. Enemies to the children of Israel. Okay. Enemies to our people. All right. Let's go over it. Psalms 83 and 5. Okay. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. Okay. The tabernacles of Edom, the Ishmaelites, Moab, Hagareans, Gabal, Ammon, Amelek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre, Ashur is adjoined on to them. Ashur is Assyrians. Okay. Now, I raised that point again because we're getting ready to go into something, because I told you to make a note of something in the first chapter, right? Or pardon me, in the first verse. So let's read that. After these things did King Ahasuerus promote Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite, and advanced him and set his seat above all the princes that were with him. Okay, and so I told you that we were going to focus in particularly on the Agagite, which is Amelek, right? So let's go to first let's go to First Samuel. Okay, and here it is. Now I want you to pay attention closely. Now this is concerning our enemy. All right. But Saul and the people spared Agag. Agag. Okay. Now, Agag is Agagite that we spoke of, Hammedatha, which is Haman is the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite. Okay, and so this is his people, all right, that we're reading about. All right, so check it out. But Saul and the people spared Agag and the best of the sheep and of the oxen and the fatlings and the lambs and all that was good, and would not utterly destroy them. But everything that was vile and refuse, that they destroyed utterly. Okay? Then came the word of Yahweh unto Samuel, saying, It repenteth me that I have set up Saul to be king, for he is turned back from following me, and have not performed my commandments. And it grieved Samuel, and he cried unto Yahweh all night. Okay, so this is King Saul. All right, all right. This is King Saul with his hard-headed ass. All right, he was given instructions. Let's read it. Let's go up here. All right, we're gonna go up here to verse 2. All right, thus saith Yahweh of creation, I remember that which Amelek did to Israel, how he laid in wait for him in the way when he came up from Egypt. Now go and smite Amalek, and utterly destroy all that they have, and spare them not, but slay both man and woman, and infant and suckling, and ox and sheep and camel and ass. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so Saul, with his hard-headed ass, spared the Agagite and the oxen. Huh? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so I bring that out to point out that the hatred that Haman had for our people is a long and deep and vicious hatred. Okay? Long and deep. It's in his spirit to hate our people. You understand? All right? And then, you know, a greater point, that another point that, that was presented in there was disobedience, the price of disobedience, right? Saul, he was given instructions and he didn't follow them. Huh? And Yahweh said he was pained, right? Hey, let's go down there. What did Yahweh say? Huh? Yahweh said, It repenteth me that I set up Saul to be king, for he has turned back from following me, and have not performed my commandments. Huh? Saul with his wicked ass. Huh? Not following the directives of Yahweh. All right? But back to the meat and potatoes of this lesson. I just wanted to point that out, to illustrate, and to put on our minds uh, about dealing, uh, about the enemies that we have and dealing with them, especially when the Most High gives you instructions concerning them. Okay? And so, uh, you know, getting back to the book of Esther, um, um, and Haman, the Agagite, I just wanted to pull out all that information so you could get a better understanding and a better picture of Haman, his mindset, and why. And then I hope that uh, the precepts that I brought out about Mordecai gave you a better understanding about Malachi, and his mindset for why he did not bow. Okay, all right, which was a beautiful reason, because he's serving Yahweh above the glory of any man. You understand? And so I'm going to close out this lesson. Um, I hope that it was edifying. Um, I hope it provides. Um, I hope it provides a um, something to ponder and meditate on, and I hope it provides um, a good study for you in the evening. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for listening. See you in the next lesson. Um, Thank you so much.